Hello everyone, welcome to Final Factory. I'm Chill Gaming and today we're diving into the fascinating world of early bus design and hauling. To start off with, I would suggest you create a new game and use map seed 1111, that's 4 ones, and do the settings however you see fit and then get the game going. And once in, perform the basic research to get shipbuilding and set up some starter mines and begin the process of mining bauxite and a small amount of silicon as well as the iron ore. And if you look down here you can see that I've got a green ghost everywhere. This is a blueprint that I put down to show you the very basics of the early bus. Now this beginning part is where we process the iron ore, and then next to it will be the silicon, and next to that bauxite. They follow a similar design. And then over here you can see the logistics space, the very beginning of the bus, and it just expands downwards as it goes from right to left. But initially I set up the small mining that is created here, and if we press out you'll see what I'm making. So I'm making some miners, research bots and the bats, and they're feeding into these little defense grid that I've got here, and I'll talk about that in another episode. But what they're doing basically now is this is doing some very early mining, and it feeds into these to make our starter ships. With these green ones I've now created in my bag, I've got 10 miners, so if I move over here I will start the building with these, and then what happens is this will feed into this station core. Don't have to do too much up there. And if you run out of ores, like I pretty much have, you can either right click, control left click sorry, on the mines, and it'll bring you in some more. And if we go up here, and I'll do the same, there's only one up here, and it then brings a little bit more mining in. And so if we then create some solar panels, get these to be built, because the whole point of this one is to get we can get some bauxite going, so it will replace this complete setup eventually, but not quite yet. And then what we'll do is we'll get this going, so this will just fill up and do nothing for now, because although we've got the logistics bays above it, these will feed into that and then go into the bauxite processing, which I think was around here somewhere, and all of it feeds into, as you can see, these here little logistic bays at the very start of the bus. That's where it starts. The ores come out here, go into this processing, come out, come back into these, and then they get ferried across this top line, as you can see. Just got to make some more of these ores. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a whole load of materials and stuff in my bag here. So when you come back, by the magic of the internet, you'll see I'll have a load more ready to be built. Whilst we're waiting for this to be produced in my manually crafted stuff, I would suggest you build one miner, one or two like this, and basically copy this setup here. Have the same one or two miners down here on the silicon that feeds up, and then what they will do is produce you your ships. That makes life a lot easier for you. And as I say, it's the easiest way to do it. So because what this does is that it produces the bauxite, processes it, produces the plasma engine, that then goes into these buildings that produce the ships, and they then filter through to your asteroids to do the mining, etc., and the research and whatever else. But that's what this little setup here does. So I would suggest you copy it and make your own. I'm not going too near the left here because I don't want to use what I've built on some area that I'm not ready to do yet. So I'm going to carry on building, and then you'll see when you come back, you'll see a lot more built. Okay, right, so now I'll explain to you what the process is here. The iron ore is coming out of these miners, feed into the station core, going into the logistics bays, and then being ported across by these cargo haulers to this final logistics bay that then uses inserter bots to fill these cargoes. They then are moved out of the cargo box into another station core that then feeds via tubes and cargo bays into this little storage array. These then feed the printers, the atomic printers, that then produce the medium density structure that you can see coming out, that's going into these two storages. That then feeds into this logistics bay that then goes into the cargoes, and it just varies across all the way along. That's the start of the bus. And then you've got down here our silicon mine. That looks messy because it's feeding the existing shipyard. I've got to keep that going to keep the ships in production. But this will eventually be taken out. Now this feeds into a logistics bay here that's feeding into these cargoes, that feeds into that logistics bay, and so on up the line, and it feeds into these cargo bays. And when this is built, it's the same principle as this. So that's a storage that then feeds a smaller atomic printer that produces the AI controllers, that then feeds back into this logistics bay that then feeds the bus. And it's exactly the same for the bauxite. That comes into this storage, that feeds to these printers, and the bauxite comes out and feeds into the bottom bus. And that's how it works. You carry on building all the way along, and it all fills into the bus. Now these products that's coming out of this, the medium, the low density, and the AI controllers, all will go towards building some of the basic production items like solar panels, insert box, cargo tubes, etc. That's further along. And what I'll do now is I'll show you a completed one so you can see exactly how it looks. And as I say, if you need any help, do ask. Come onto the Final Factory Discord. I will post it in the description. And come and find me, Chill Gaming, Newbie, anyone actually. Just go into the playtesting or the general chat and ask for help. We'll all be glad to help you. And yeah, so I will now put this down and you'll see what it's like, and I'll talk you through it, and then we'll start to talk a little bit about haulers. Okay, right, so here's an almost finished, well, I wouldn't say finished, nearly there, it's getting there. And as you can see, here's the feeding miners that feed in the iron ore. Like I said before, they all feed it in and it comes out, goes onto the bus. And here you can see what it looks like with the silicon being processed to AI, the bauxite being processed into low density, and you can see it all comes out, feeds into the bus that then feeds into the plasma engine core factories. So the low density comes up and goes down. Now how it comes out is you basically, if you see here, so here's the logistics bay. I'll put cargo tubes to a cargo container, set the cargo container on this one to be maximum, and then set this one to be maximum. And you get, the longer it is, you can set it a bit less, but when you run out you'll see why. And then a junction, and then that feeds via a tube into this station core, and it's a similar process all the way along. And as you can see, the new shipyard here is that's producing everything. And then you've got the robotic arms being produced and the repairers at the top. And this is the fabricator recipe that takes a lot to make them. And then our basic production of everything. So you've got solar panels, etc., etc., coming up there. The cargo tubes, the inserter box, the cargoes, the logistics bays, junctions, the antimatter, part of the antimatter power, etc., etc. is how it works, and it comes through. And this is producing the planetary research bots. I'll show you those in a minute. Being attacked again, so I've got to look where they're coming from. Because of each update, he changes things, the dev, so you'll see it gets harder. There you go, they're taking out everything. This is how hard they get. And I died. Hold on. So he's definitely made it harder from last time. It wasn't this hard. So now I've got to get enough materials, and this is what you've got to battle against if you keep the enemy spawning on, etc. It does get a bit tricky at times. Not impossible, but it's tricky. So I've got a bit of that, and then I'll get a bit of these. I need to make some miners. I suppose I could have just gone up and grabbed them. We look at global stability. This is what you've got to keep an eye on. The higher this number here, the harder they hit. haven't got any bots, have I? Remember to do that, working bots. So what have I got in here? Let's see if there's any in here. Worker bots. So if I take construction bot, and then it'll start going down here and building them like so. Right, so now what I need is to do power. This probably won't be able to have much built. I want to go up and find some of the production that we need. Have it sitting in my bag. But save regularly, otherwise you won't get that achievement now that where you don't die and you make it to end game. But I luckily got a save that I'll just reload. So if we come back here and grab some of those. Where are they now? Some of those, some of those, some of those. Solar panels. What are we missing? Oh, the repairers. I think that's it. Let's go down here and repair this up. Right, now hopefully that will get supplied. We will take none in that. Let's go up and fill ourselves up. So I've got several different versions of this save. It's finding the right one. That's being destroyed. So max. Right here. Yeah, it's definitely made this harder. Yeah, so I'm going to load another save, but to save this one, because I don't know, I'm going to have to redo this game again, so it's a lot easier. But I'm a builder, you see. Right, so these are producing the mass energy converters by power array. So it does a way of having all of this down the bottom. These are producing the singularity field. These are the back production. And these are producing the the laser, and this one will be producing the this one here, which is actually no, it's the engine, wherever that is in here. I haven't researched it yet. There's an engine that produces, so you can start to build stuff and move things around. And as we look at here, you'll see up here is the planet. So I'll quickly nip up there. Now you know why there's a defense grid around it. I've got to beef that up. So this is the planetary research. I just attached to a station core, and you get planetary research bots that then enable you to do a lot more research. But that is it in a nutshell, really, with the you know, with these the bus. What I want to do now is show you another save that I've got where I've got some haulers, etc. on there. So I will now load that for you, and you can see that. Okay, so this is the early hauling. So I've set up another mining array here, and I've built myself a little ship. Now I'll zoom into it. So if you could copy this, pause the video, and make a note of where everything is. If I can, I'll put a link in the description for the blueprints. It just depends how easy it is. But what this is doing is picking everything up from here that's coming out of the mine, put into this cargo bay via inserters, and then that's moved through to this storage here. So it's a tiny little ship that moves the storage of the bauxite, and it moves it to where the bauxite is being processed. So if you recall, it had this here, and it didn't have the station above it. This is an addition, and it's the reverse of what you just saw. So it takes everything out, puts it into this station core, then feeds the existing storage array with these cargoes changed around so it stores more, and that feeds an upgraded low density material processing thing with a duplicator on it. This is an artifact that drops out of ships when you kill them, and then that feeds the bus. And that is the very basics of a hauling, because all you do is you set them up and put them in different asteroids, etc. And if you click on the command center, which is this thing here, it lets you set new landing zones, and you can tell it. So I've got this little green thing, there's one at the mine as well, so I've renamed it as Bauxite Mine. It stays there till it gets a full inventory, and it tells you the orientation of the ship, so you can change all of this, and then it moves to the bauxite depot, which is this one, and until it's empty inventory. So everything is emptied, and then it'll fly up to the other side. And that's the basics in a nutshell of the haulers. Are very easy to do. As you say, I've got two ships, so there's always one feeding this and always one loading. And then eventually you'll do the same for the iron and upgrade this one so it feeds the bus. But the other thing I'm thinking of playing with is doing some of these little ships, even small ones maybe, that maybe do away with some of this bus. So where the oils come here, let's say, where the materials come out, they go into haulers, and then that filters it to a separate location that does all of this production, all in like a square, let's say, or a circle or whatever, and it unloads in the central point, and that feeds all the factories. I wonder if that would be quicker and more optimized than doing all of this bus. I don't know. It's something we can play with, or you can play with, and give me your thoughts on it. As I say, it's definitely shaping up. It's got there, but obviously the devs have made the game a lot harder than it was now with this latest patch. So I will probably have to restart on Explorer mode and turn everything off so I don't get attacked, because I like building and optimizing. That's my kind of game. So yeah, thanks for watching. It's a small video this time, but I plan on doing a lot more smaller ones as I've got a bit more time then to do them. Do like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want updates on the new videos, and I look forward to seeing you next time, guys. Take it easy.